Greetings, students. Take your seat and get your books out because today we are going to be learning about Noble Phantasms. First off, let's talk about what a Noble Phantasm is. A Noble Phantasm, or NP for short, is a servant's ultimate move. Noble Phantasms are as diverse as the servants that wield them. Coming in various flavors, you have NPs that deal massive damage to either a single target or all enemies. You also have Noble Phantasms that buff your team, debuff the enemies, and even heal your team. Noble Phantasms will require you to fill the NP gauge that is found below your servant's HP bar. Once this is full, you can unleash that Noble Phantasm. Your most basic method to fill this is going to be using your normal attacks, and if you want to know a bit more about the various benefits of the card deck, please take a look at the video linked in the description that goes over card combos. You can fill your NP gauge via craft essences that increase your starting NP, NP gain, and NP gauge per turn. You also can fill up your NP gauge via servant skills that increase NP gauge or NP gain. I've had some students ask me why certain Noble Phantasms seem to hit harder than others. Well, that's because Noble Phantasms are beholden to their card modifiers. This means that a quick-based NP is going to do 80%, the arts will do a flat 100%, and the buster-based NPs will be increased by 150% damage. Noble Phantasms are always treated as the first card. This means that their performance is unaffected by their position in the card chain. You can, however, use Noble Phantasms to create a quick arts or buster chain, and if you start off your attacks with a Noble Phantasm, the subsequent cards will receive both the first card bonus as well as placement bonus of being the second and third card in the lineup. So if you have been holding your NPs to use in the last slot, well, I'm sad to say it doesn't increase it in any way. The level of the Noble Phantasm does a few things. Not only does it increase the overall potency of the NP, but it also increases the servant's maximum NP gauge. All servants' NPs have a maximum level of 5, which can only be increased by fusing the exact same servants together. At level 2, the servant's NP gauge maximum increases to 200%, and at level 5, the maximum goes up again to 300%. The 200 and 300% are considered overcharge, and we will talk about that shortly. As you can see here, each rank that you go up on Nito's Noble Phantasm, it increases the damage that it does. Going from NP1 to NP2 will net you the largest gain in damage, so sometimes it is worth spending that extra quartz to try to get a second servant to further increase the damage as well as unlock the ability to charge your NP to 200%. Now, from NP3 to NP5, you will have diminishing returns, but that is not to say that it is not worth it. Overcharge is a separate effect that is semi-independent from NP level and can be affected by various methods. All servants will start with 100% to their charge bar. This will put them at Overcharge 1. For every 100% gauge that they gain past that, they will achieve the next benchmark for Overcharge. When you chain NPs together, each subsequent NP past the first will be charged by an additional 100%, increasing the Overcharge. For example, in this scenario, you will have 3 servants that are all ready to use their Noble Phantasms. Each one is charged to 100%. As you stack Noble Phantasms in a chain, this will increase the overcharge level. The first servant will have an overcharge of 1. The second will have 200% or an overcharge of 2. The third servant will have 300% or an overcharge of 3. Now let's say the second and third servants are at 300% Noble Phantasm gauge. Servant 1 would still only have 100%. The second servant, who is already at 300%, would get the extra 100% for being in second place and come in at 400% or overcharge 4. The third servant, getting the extra 200% from chain placement, would then achieve overcharge 5. Now, there are other ways to increase overcharge. There are some servants, such as Thomas Edison, who has a skill that can increase a servant's Noble Phantasm overcharge by 2 2 levels. There is also a craft essence called the Demonic Bodhisattva that will give you a one-time boost to your NP overcharge by 2 as well. There are a large amount of strategies and critical thinking needed when deploying your Noble Phantasms. Sometimes a defense down at the start, followed up by DPS Noble Phantasms, is worth more than that Servant's Overcharge 2. Take Waver, for example. If you're following up the 2nd and 3rd place with damage, starting out with his Noble Phantasm for a 10% to 30% defense decrease will oftentimes far outweigh the extra 7.5% chance to stun. In the case of Tamamo no Mei, using her in the last slot might be more beneficial, as a rank 3 overcharge will return 37.5 NP gauge versus 25% at overcharge 1. This also adds that Noble Phantasm gauge to the 2 previous servants who just used their Noble Phantasm, giving you a much greater benefit. There are a ton of different combinations, and we would be here all semester if we tried to go through every situation and every possible combo. So, students, class is about to end, but I do hope that this has helped you understand the inner workings of the Noble Phantasm mechanic a little bit better. I would like to thank Lord Ashura for helping me out with this guide, as well as all of the Patreons who help support this channel and this series. You guys are the top of the class. If you would like to join them, there is a link down in the description, but you can support the channel by hitting that subscribe button, smashing that bell notification, dropping me a like and a comment, and I will catch you on the next one. Class dismissed.
Just run away with my darling. We'll get